got you.
I'm dancing on the dance floor.
I got you. I got you.
Look at
Hey, you know what?
a tiger King Kong.
Boys, hey, listen. If you play quietly, these kids will play quiet too. So if you play aggressive, they're going to be aggressive.
If we play loud,
Be aggressive.
look at
just a short history of the Haudenosaunee. Now, the Haudenosaunee is an old confederacy, so 1,000 years old, at least 1,000, and probably quite a bit more. And we have a system of governance that's very democratic and probably can be the basis, probably is the basis for the U.S. government as it stands. The principles of the Confederacy was established by the great Peacemaker.
And the Peacemaker said, will you be able to go back to your village to approach your leader with a message that I will send with you? He said, I want you to go back to your village and go directly to your leader and tell him that you met a man by the lake.
And the great Peacemaker came among them, these 5 warring nations, which were Mohawks, Oneidas, Onondagas, Cayugas, and Senecas, way back when they were fighting. And this is a bad history. When I see what's going on around the world today, in Kosovo and Far, and all of those, Ethiopia, Africa, Iraq, all around the world where this fighting is occurring right now. If you will note that the style of fighting that's going on today is really merciless. There's no rules whatsoever involved here. It's one of just pure hatred and pure fear.
What would happen if we gave up the way we do it? Isn't it possible that our enemies will come and destroy us and take everything that we have? We don't believe that this plan would work.
Submission by fear. And there's no rules. They're killing men, women, and children. And we have a fighting machine in Iraq, which is probably the most powerful fighting machine ever in the history of the world, being fought to a standstill by guerrilla warfare and the will of people. And that's always primary to understanding what goes on, is what is the will of the people. So back in those days, we were in that same kind of a fight. There was no rules. And people were living in fear. Women and children were running in the woods, hiding from the men, and the men were fighting. And came the Peacemaker, across what is now Lake Ontario, and landed in the northeast shore of Lake Ontario, Mohawk territory, and he began his epic journey of bringing peace to the 5 nations. And I won't go through all that because that's epic. It would take days and days to talk about it, and it's a great story. And it lays down the principles that govern us. So I'll just go quickly to the day that they sat on the Onondaga Lake. Finally got all the leaders assembled at Onondaga Lake, and then instructed the governance right there.
And that he has a message of 3 parts: the peace, righteousness, and the power.